Hello, welcome, good evening, everybody. Here in another session, we'll be discussing some more reading comprehension questions, the new pattern based ones. Without any delay, let's start this series. We've been discussing all this for months. If somebody's new here, can watch the previous sessions. This is the fourth one in this RC series targeting SSC 2026 examinations, particularly CGL and CHSL. Let's go straight. That's part 2, not part 1. In the basic form, I can say like you should have your reading skills, without which attempting an RC in time with precision is so difficult. Let me say this again. Grammar is the building block, the foundation. So is vocabulary. But just by going through grammar and vocabulary, reading cannot be developed. That's a different habit. We have to do it separately. On a daily basis, just engage yourself for 10 or 15 minutes in you can have reading newspapers and all, but diversified types. Just like reading a novel again and again and again. For example, that's a 1,000-page novel, you read that, but the tone remains the same. It won't show you matter of economy, finance, say AI and biology. It won't have, say, botany and such. But nowadays, in examinations, we come across various topics which we may not be aware of. So going through newspapers and different sections daily help us infer whatever comes across. Let's start without any delay. And yes, before I start, let me say this also, that whenever you go through a passage, say it has 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, just make some keywords like this is mentioned in the first paragraph, that was mentioned in the second paragraph, that was mentioned in the third and the fourth paragraph, and so on, so that we need not go from line 1 to the last line again and again for each and every question. We know we should remember what was mentioned where. Practice with patience is the key to success. The more you practice, the better you be and become. Here we go. The first one. The presence of. It's the definite article the here. Waiting for your response. You say done. We go ahead. Waiting for your response. Waiting for your response. Okay. Very good. Surya. Okay. Next. Shweta. No. Hey dear. Good evening. Quick. Okay. Expecting it done. Finishing things now. So, according to the passage, the existence of subsurface liquid water oceans on bodies like is primarily an indirect result of which process, as mentioned in the passage. It's not by the internal radioisotopic decay heating that is on Earth, not by this, but by powerful tidal forces exerted by the gravitational pull of a massive host planet. Not Earth, but the host planet, whichever it is, as per the gravitational pull of a massive host planet. So all these processes go exactly by the continuous gravitational pull flexing caused by the host planet. Quite easy. Tiger stripes define what? Tiger stripes has 4 linear fractures near the south pole. 4 linear fractures near the south pole. So 4 prominent linear fractures located near the moon's south pole. In the third paragraph, perennial. Perennial is occurring again and again and again and again and again. Like rivers, which don't exist for say 2 months, 6 months, 8 months, for 12 months. Perennial, continuous it is. So limited, not at all. Repeatedly occurring or continuing, exactly that's the meaning of the word. Focusing on organisms, no. Dependent on the analysis, never. The third paragraph primarily serves to explain. So the third paragraph talks about, as per the options I remember, preventing the complete freezing of interior water and such. Preventing the complete freezing of that, and that's the very factor that sustains the potential for complexity. So it prevents the complete freezing of interior waters as per the options. The search for chemical composition for energy, that how, just a sec. Search for focused, no. Chemical composition of, no. Energy mechanism that sustains interior, no. How activity, yes. On these moons prevents the complete freezing and potentially fosters life. So preventing that complete freezing of water and fostering life. And what about the structure of this sentence? So instead of preposition, molten rock, object of the preposition, comma, subject, verb, these erupt, a mix of water, ammonia, methane. We may see a conjunction there, comma, belonging to the fanboys category, F-A-N-B-O-Y-S, but and connects two words also. She is beautiful and intelligent. Two sentences are not connected, only two adjectives are there. We don't have two distinct finite verbs or subjects. So that's just one subject with one verb, nothing two. We have objects connected out there, mix of this, and for one subject, one verb, that has to be a simple sentence. Feel free to ask. If there is any doubt, moving ahead. Next. Say done, I'll show the questions then. Okay, here we go. Okay, next. Please go ahead, waiting for your responses. If you wish to have a look at the passage, I can. Please have a look. Okay. last. Great response, hey dear. Okay, let's discuss. Yes, you are correct. Okay, so the author suggests that his success was attributed to his emphasizing scientific endeavor and methodological progression, had fatally underestimated the sheer pragmatism of his approach. What was his approach? His approach had prioritized speed. That's his approach. And mastery of cold weather travel. Speed and mastery of cold weather travel. So superior scientific, no. Emphasis on speed and practical mastery of polar environment, that weather, exactly. The word invidious, actually this is vocabulary, it means resentment. Can show you. Invidious is like anger, envy, jealousy, resentment. Invidious, likely to cause resentment, anger, unhappiness because it's unfair, discriminatory, or putting someone in unpleasant situation. Unfair or unjust. So that's straight resentment. That's why the answer resentment. What primary factor, according to the passage, escalated the return journey into an unrelenting psychological and physical ordeal? So the return journey became ordeal, psychological and physical. Why? Okay. Their return journey was transformed from a logistical challenge into an unrelenting psychological and physical ordeal. Why? Because the weather, which was benign, beneficial, good during the outward march, turned with a savage or cruel, malevolent or fury. Because of the weather, which was beneficial, which was benign, that was good, became savage, cruel, furious, malevolent because of weather. So the unexpected discovery of tent, no, the sudden deterioration, furious, weather, coupled with provisions inadequate for temperatures, also mentioned, I think. The party faced unprecedented, low temperatures. So temperatures also there. And apart from that, weather, which was benign, became malevolent. Which of the following can be the title for the passage? The passage talks about some invidious proof. Okay, forget about this. This tragedy, when fully uncovered by a search party months later, became a narrative. It became a narrative in British culture. It was included in their culture. Remembered not for the failed ambition, nope, but for the stoic, indifferent to pleasure or pain. Classical dignity with which the men confronted their final, implacable fate. So that was a matter of classical dignity, not for the failed ambition, but for the stoic, classical dignity. And some keywords it has taken: invidious proof of defeat, but that wasn't about defeat, wasn't about failure, was about stoic classical dignity. So somewhat such. Triumph, no, it was failure. Cost, wasn't. Exercise and futility, no, it wasn't futile. There was the invidious proof, the dignified failure of the expedition. This Terra Nova expedition is also marked. They haven't marked the name, but that's the theme of the passage that we can't skip. The rest of those are opposite. No problem if this Terra Nova is not mentioned. No problem. I repeat, the classical dignity, not for the failed ambition it was remembered, it became a narrative. So it wasn't about that negativity, it was about that dignity and that dignified failure. Last, error detection. The sledge is designed for the lesser, that's problematic. Little, positive degree, comparative degree, less, superlative, least. So less is already comparative, lesser is double comparative, which is fine for the authors, not considered correct in error detection section. This is like double comparative, like more better. And more better, you better know, is not considered formal. So the sledges designed for the lesser friction of the outward journey became impossibly heavy. One by one, the men succumbed, each death marking a profound acceleration of the other's decline. Lesser, that's it. One more. Most welcome, Rohit. Bhavna. Okay, showing next slide in seconds. somehow. Okay, showing the next one. First one, you think A. You are correct. Waiting. Actually, I read a different sentence in place of A, so I thought the answer is wrong, given by you. But later on, I realized that's A. So you are correct. Rohit, we have a better choice for the third one. Read the question first again. The proponents who support of deep sea mining justify their position by saying, so they must be saying it's beneficial. That's why they favor. Hmm. Pretty good. Elimination. Last but not the least. And the answer given by you is whoa, that's a dependent clause. Now simple here, Rohit. We have two sentences which are connected with the conjunction that. Great. Hey dear, can't pronounce your name, username actually, but you are phenomenal. Thank you. Finishing things with this RC. So which statement best summarizes the fundamental dilemma faced by International Seabed Authority as described in the passage? Obviously, the proponents, they say that these resources, which are rich in copper, cobalt, manganese, rare earth elements, they are essential for green energy transition, for manufacturing high capacity batteries. However, the biologists, environmental advocates caution that this extraction could inflict damage, and damage which is irreparable. You can't repair that on planet's least understood and most pure ecosystem. Oh, so they say we shouldn't, otherwise it will damage. They say no, we should. That's the need of the hour, essential for green energy transition and all. So we'll have to find a balance. They must decide between prioritizing resource extraction for green energy, what the proponents argue, and protecting the unique deep sea ecosystem from that irreversible damage, as mentioned in the passage. Recalcitrant, stubborn. Many of you understand Hindi. Adiyal, stubborn, easily achievable? No. Controversial? No. Stubborn? Yup. Technically complex? No. Proponents, okay, marked in the first paragraph, of deep sea mining justify their position. We have already answered this. The known existence of slow growing rare deep. No, that was about those environmentalists or biologists, not about proponents of the necessity of securing critical elements for global initiatives like the transition to green energy. Yes, they were talking about this. The necessity, it's necessary, it's essential for green energy transition. Yes. What about the others? The fact that deep sea sediment plumes don't affect mid-water, they were talking about green energy transition, not deep sea. Historical precedent set by the extraction of resources from politically volatile, nothing such. The passage is most likely taken from A technical manual for deep sea mining equipment. It's not for a ship, like that's how you turn it on, that's how you turn it off, that's how you. No equipment marked in the passage. A government policy. Government? If the government is supposed to publish this, they won't be saying what proponents say, what opponents say, what biologists say. Government will have their firm opinion. Its firm opinion. Government won't be mentioning what both say. How should we find a balance between? So that's not by government. A scholarly journal specializing 17th century law. Oh, hold on. 17th century, we didn't have, say, batteries back in the 17th century. So it doesn't belong to that era. A contemporary belonging to now, news article, it may be, or editorial, no objection, discussing a developing environmental policy issue. Striking a balance. A contemporary, because we have batteries and all these things now, not in the past, 17th century. Nope. And so proponents argue, we have a subject, we have a verb. Okay, that these resources, okay, are essential. We have another subject. We have two sentences here, but they are not independent like fanboys. We have dependent structures with the conjunction that. Great answer, hey dear. And for dependent structures, first of all, they are two, can't be simple or can't be compound complex. They are not compound, they are complex because they are so intertwined. That's all from my side in this session. Thanks a lot for being here. Do subscribe if you are new. Would love to see you next week in the upcoming sessions for another topic. Before that, let me inform you that SSC has introduced sectional timer. I'm sure you are aware of this, but let me just inform that every test at Oliveboard has this sectional timing now. And quite before that, we can grab a flat 45% off and 4 months extra on any course subscription, be it SSC, CGL, CHSL, a practice course, a foundation course, PYQs, mock tests, etc. 45% off and 4 months extra, which ends tomorrow. Can use the code JFY just for you sale. Yes, I'll elaborate this in a minute, but before that, these tests I was talking about, each and every set here has this sectional timing available. Okay, make use of these, adapt yourself, otherwise the real examination will be so problematic. Finishing those 25 questions in 15 minutes every time won't be possible in examination if we don't practice enough. Yes, one can opt for SSC Lite or Elite or Super Elite or SSC plus Railways Elite or Super Elite also. Everything is included, what is included, what is not, everything is mentioned quite clearly. We suggest Super Elite, in which you get everything in just one subscription. The running batches, the upcoming batches for CGL, CHSL, CPU, MTS, 2000 plus tests, mocks, PYP, past live tests and everything here. Okay. Bye-bye, take care, be safe. One can also opt for SSC plus Railways Super Elite, which includes for both. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. See you next week. Thanks everyone here. Bhavna, Shweta, Veer verse the rise. Thanks a lot. It's Nancy in my opinion. Surya, thank you so much, brother. Love and respect from my side. Shweta, Rohit, God bless you. God bless you, brother. Always. Take care, be safe, have a smile. See you pretty soon. Thank you. Oh, Aramb, most welcome. Oh, the ratings I should be concerned about. Okay, most welcome, Aramb.